I'm Ryan Stevens with the Racing with Ryan podcast.
And I'm Tom Stout with Speedway Video, and this is Do a Burnout.
And today with us, very special guest sitting between us, ready to take on the Hot Sauce Gauntlet, driver of the number 13 Bomber A, Mr. Joe Racine. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing?
You've already caught the aromas.
Oh, yeah.
What's your relationship with spicy food?
I love it. My body hates it. Oh.
Yeah. We're not going to send you to the hospital tonight, are we?
Hopefully not, no.
That's the goal, anyway.
I mean, I did clarify with the wife, the life insurance policy's up to date. She knows the address, so she can come and get the car.
I got her on speed dial, too,
Okay,
just
cool.
in case.
All right, we got it all covered.
We're not insured. I messed up the paperwork in the area where it says do not write here. I said, okay.
Yeah. I just kind of did the diabetic test and signed the blood oath. So.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a Simpsons reference. I watched that episode earlier today, not an original joke.
You've seen a few episodes of the show, so you know what you're getting into here.
I'm good. I'm ready.
This is the green flag sweet jalapeno sauce. It is the one that I made myself. I think this is Tom's favorite part. He looks forward to this every week, right?
Yeah, you know, it's the green flag and it's the checkered. I really like this one, especially because it's the one of these that I don't have at home myself. And I love when we get to the really hot one at the end too.
It's really good. Sweet with the right amount of heat. Good kickoff to get the taste buds numb.
There you go. That's the perfect way to put it. We really get you jump started here. I am now noticing the first two sauces match the color of your race car.
Yeah, they were pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah. So you recently won your first career race in the Bomber A division at New Smyrna Speedway. Explain your emotions as you're crossing the finish line, realizing you finally conquered winning at New Smyrna.
Oh, I let off early coming to the line, and in my head, I'm thinking back, the few people we saw that broke out on the last lap, and I had that paranoia, like, how fast did I go? There was a gap. I let off plenty. I should be good. I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, all right, race control anytime now. And then I go off into one, and I hear 13 to victory lane, and I didn't think I'd be as emotional, honestly, but it was just one of the things that come out, and it's like, I have no problem admitting, I started crying coming through 1 and 2, hit the back stretch, and I just pulled up, and it's like, all right, you got about half a straightaway to get this together, because you got to get out of this car eventually, and Ryan's going to be there. So I'm like, you know what, at this point, I mean, after trying since I was 16 years old, and having everybody tell me, you don't want to do it, it's not worth the money, you could be saving this, and I just look at him and be like, where's your Ferrari sitting in the driveway for all the money you're saving then if it's not worth it? And I always told myself, one day, I'm going to die trying. I'm going to do it one day, or I'm going to die trying. And to get the first win, it's a little vindication for, all the money spent and the time and the effort and everything. And still to this day, feel terrible for Caleb breaking out in the lead.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I hear it come over the radio. I'm like, did I just hear that Caleb broke out? Because he was gone.
Mm-hmm. And it's tough. You guys are in a tough box with that rule, which is very unique to the class.
Yes.
And for me, it keeps things interesting, but for you guys, balancing that.
Of course, it's bit me, more than a handful of times. The week before that, I felt so bad for breaking out. My sister was actually in town from Pennsylvania for the weekend. And I go up and I see her after the race. She's like, really? The weekend I'm here, really? She's like, I hate that stupid rule. She's like, where's the office? Who do I got to go talk to get rid of this rule? It's stupid. Fast forward the next week, I actually win, and I try to call her. She's like, I hate you. But I love you. Congratulations.
So did anybody that was telling you you shouldn't be doing this, you should be saving your money, any of those people reach out to you and be like, thanks for proving me wrong?
No.
Well, as somebody who was just watching it, it was great to see. Because I remember when you had to rent a U-Haul just to get the car out to the track.
Yeah,
and then I think it was maybe the second time that we saw you at the New Smyrna Speedway where you hit the wall coming out at 2. And I was thinking, that's it. That's the last time we're going to see this guy. It's hard enough for him just to get to the track.
Yeah.
And here you are, a winner.
And right at the light that night, same night, the U-Haul blows a head gasket.
Yeah, yes.
Right outside the track.
I saw him drive the car through the parking lot to get to the pit.
So literally out the outer pit where you come in, somebody came out of nowhere with this pickup truck, just threw a chain on it, just towed the U-Haul, the car, everything into the parking lot. I said, well, I'm there. And then everybody's like, just throw your damn tools and shit in the car, drive it in there. They'll let you. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. One of the advantages of that stuff happening at a racetrack. Ryan always tries to win it on lap 1, not practicing what he preaches over here. We know how that goes.
We hear this on the announcing every week.
So the caution flag is already out. We're on to the yellow sauce. It's the Pirate's Lantern Bajan pepper sauce. It's a mustard sauce.
Never really been a horseradish fan, so this is one that I'm kind of like, we'll definitely try it, obviously. Decent heat, a little bit of sweetness. Definitely don't get that strong horseradish like how I remember horseradish.
Yeah, it's not overpowering. It's just
No.
It's kind of there. You get the mustard, like you said, a little bit of sweetness in there. It's a good sauce.
I feel like that one's not as spicy as the first one. To me.
Yeah, we've been.
They
can vary, so
kind of sits there and ferments a little bit more and works itself up.
That's what we're thinking is science. That's our scientific thought on that.
So this is something I know you've spoken about before, but I've never asked you.
Uh-oh.
You had a horrible car accident in 2007.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome over the years to get to where you are now?
So, I had a job doing property maintenance for a college. I was heading to my last property of my work week. I'm sitting there with my turn signal on for like 2 minutes. I'm like, come on, people, I just need to turn. I can see the house right there. And lo and behold, there was a dump truck loaded with gravel. It was a 35-mile-per-hour zone. He was texting.
It was 2007, and I was like, "This is before smartphone." So he's doing like the T9
Gotta
or whatever
hit
it's
it
called
4 times to get that S and everything. So
Terrible.
he's texting his wife because their anniversary dinner was that night and he had to work late.
Ah.
And he just didn't look up in time. Well, you were a little
You're
bit
not making
later.
it to dinner.
And I don't really remember any of this until I read the accident report, weeks, months later, whatever it was. They did the accident reconstruction. They estimated he was doing 62 at impact.
Oh my God.
And I remember just hearing the Jake brake. And to this day, I'll still get paranoid when I hear a Jake brake.
Sure. Wow.
I remember hearing it. I looked back and I saw like a flash because the sun flashed off the chrome. I don't remember anything. I remember slightly waking up in the back of an ambulance. And of course, the paramedics have to document everything you say. And the funniest part is, I don't know how in the hell this happened. I got to take a DNA test on this one, but apparently I turned Japanese because I told him my name was Fujiyama.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. My head's busted open.
Good Lord.
It was the impact of it snapped the bed of the truck off of the truck. The back window, they said, wasn't even in pieces. It was so much force, it just came out of the seal and laid there. And the only reason it was shattered is because it landed on the ground.
Yeah.
I got pushed up the road through a couple other cars to a guardrail. And next clear thought I have after that is waking up in the hospital. I'm like, am I strapped down? Because I feel like I can't move. Come to find out, 3 of my vertebrae are collapsed on top of each other.
Yeah.
So when I thought I was strapped down, the straps were off. I was actually paralyzed. And the doctors are like, we'll give you maybe on a high end 10% chance. You'll probably get your arms back, but you'll never walk again.
Wow.
You go from having an active life, and I've always loved like roller coasters, hiking. I did mountain biking for a while. To have such an active life to just sitting in one place.
Yeah.
It had to be the deepest and darkest spot I've ever been in my life.
I would imagine.
I had some really good friends that were trying to pep me up. Hey, you'll beat this and everything. I said, if y'all are really my true friends, I cannot live an inactive life. This is no life for me. I need you guys to kind of push me off a cliff or something.
Yeah.
I could move my head, I could chew, I could swallow, but I had to have somebody feed me, put a straw up to my mouth and everything. But anything from like mid-chest to the arm area down was nothing. Going through therapy. I was laying there one day and I heard the nurse gasp and I'm like, what the hell? Apparently my fist clenched. It was the first movement I had in 4 months.
Involuntary?
It just clenched and they weren't sure. So they like literally just started kicking my ass with therapy.
Oh, yeah.
The cool part is, you can't feel no pain.
Right. Right.
I started to actually be able to kind of boot both hands.
Wow.
And then slowly I could lift my arms. I started lifting again with an empty Campbell's soup can.
Okay.
I started doing curls. About 4.5 years after the initial accident, I walked out with a full medical clearance.
Wow.
I feel like that's an even bigger win than what you did on the racetrack.
Yeah. After that, I used to be so serious about life. One of my biggest fears was actually dying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like after that, I have tried to live the most carefree.
Mm-hmm.
I know when to be serious, but I really don't care.
So you've taken that second lease on life.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You've run that spectrum of perception.
I think
of
buying
that
the
sort
race
of
car,
thing.
my wife's like, well, here comes the midlife crisis. They're my true friends that I still keep in contact, and we may not even talk once a month. When I posted the win, those were the people that were commenting and calling my phone like, you said from the time you were in high school, middle school, you said you were always going to race the car. Dude, you proved us wrong. I said, if one of y'all would have took the offer of cash to off me back then, I wouldn't be here right now. So thank you for being a good friend. Honestly, everything I was going through, and This drug on till about 2 years after, till we finally had the court date for this whole thing. And I actually went there, and they wanted to basically crucify this guy. Which anybody else, family would have been like, dude, you were texting, you almost killed him. I could have been killed, but, luckily I wasn't. And I'm actually sitting there defending him.
Yeah.
They wanted to pull his, CDL. It's his life. He drove all his life. It was just one decision that went bad. And I'm like, we call these accidents for a reason.
Yeah, well, that shows your character, if you ask me.
And, okay, do I feel there should be a punishment? Yes, and not just slap on the wrist like, hey, don't do it again, put the phone down. Obviously, there's got to be something, but to take it and ban him for life for making a living, for putting food on the table for him, I think he had 3 kids. And one was only 6 months old at the time. I don't want to see him lose his career and his way of making a life for his family and his kids. So do what you do, but have some sympathy. So, and they ended up, I think, just revoking his license for 2 years.
Okay, good, yeah.
But he actually stayed in contact for a good bit after it. We lost contact before I moved to Florida, but last I knew, kids were growing up. He had 2 of them graduating high school, going on to college, and the other one was coming out of middle school, I think, the last time we talked. But we've all lived, we've all learned, and we bounced back. So.
Accidents happen.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna move on.
It's a sharp turn into a dick joke, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna step on into the Dirty Dick's tropical hot sauce now. We've rubbed the salt in the wounds, and now we'll use the dick to cleanse our minds.
Good helping in this one too. That's good right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's like something you could put on chicken or anything on the barbecue grill and cook that in there.
Mm-hmm. Ribs or chicken breasts even.
I can make some pulled pork out of that.
Oh, for sure. That'd be real good.
We're all making the dick and breasts joke in our minds, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Dirty dicks, pulled pork. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so back on track here. Aside from the Bombers, if you could race any class, whether it be in New Smyrna or anywhere, what class would it be and why?
I butcher this because I always say the wrong name. Are we street stock or super stock?
Same thing.
Okay.
You're
different tracks, different ones. That's me right there. I grew up dirt tracks around the big V8 Monte Carlos, Chevelles, Novas. If I had to do anything, it would be right there. Obviously, do we want to run NASCAR one day? Who wouldn't? Pro late models, super late models. Well, on the pricey side.
Yeah.
I'm barely affording my Bomber A right now.
If somebody said, hey, you can drive my super late in the Governor's Cup, you're not going to say no.
I'm not going to say no. I'm like, can I sign a piece of paper when this thing gets destroyed? I'm not liable for it.
So is it more the affordability than anything with the Superstar, relative affordability, or is there something else about that division that draws you to it?
I just think it's the body styles.
Yeah.
It's what I grew up. It's what I'm used to.
They look like a stack of pancakes.
A cereal box, as Rusty calls them.
A cereal box. Yeah. I could see, you can picture, the little dotted lines on the back of the cereal box.
Fold
when
here.
you're done, fold and... Yeah.
If that's the case, I'll have one tomorrow if we can pull them out of the cereal box.
Peanut Cheerios.
Might last a lap.
But super stock / street stock, depending on, pure stock, whatever you want to call it. That was one of the first classes I saw when I started going back to New Smyrna as a fan. 25 laps side by side for the win.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Reynolds and Curtis back in the day before I knew all those guys. It was one of the best races I've ever seen. So that style of car, no matter be it Smyrna, Auburndale, out of state, doesn't matter. It always puts on a good show.
And I think it just, like I said, growing up around the dirt tracks and everything, I've been to a few asphalt, but more dirt than anything. And it's like watching them cars 3 wide. And it's just synchronized because they're just so in control and okay, they're all gonna wipe out and they come off the turn and they're straight. It's
how do you do that?
How? I was you're sliding. There's no grip.
All right, Joe. Welcome to the Carnival.
All right.
Kicking it up a notch. It's you're gonna notice a
Now
difference.
we start to get it up there.
Yeah.
The first half of the race is easy.
That's a different flavor right off the bat. There it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's sneaky.
That's really good too. Like I said, I like it. I don't think my body's going to like it later tonight or tomorrow, but...
Well, related to some of the memories that you have, I imagine, at a track up in Pennsylvania that you would go to?
Pennsylvania, and spent some time at tracks in Tennessee.
Okay. What is a favorite race memory that you have? And it could be from New Smyrna as well, but just from attending and watching the races.
I also grew up around the 410 wing sprint cars.
Okay.
That was a staple on every schedule every week. I had a favorite driver at the time, Brian Leppo. He just always hung it out high, right against the wall. And sometimes the ass end of the car would kiss the wall and he'd shoot straight down the straightaway, just bat out of hell into the next turn. I started hanging out in the pits and got to know him, got to know his mom, the team. One night they were leaving the track and I was behind them. They pull into the car wash and I pull in, you know. First time I ever met them and everything. Because I never like to really go up to the drivers when it's race time and, you know, when they're trying to prepare mentally and everything. Mm-hmm. So they pull into the car wash. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pull in real quick. I just wanted to get a picture of the hauler. And pull in and they see me and they're like, oh, hey, you like stalking us? I was like, yeah, kind of. I was like, I kind of wanted to get a picture of the hauler. I can never get it because, you know, you got the big doors open all the time. He was actually there. He come out and met me and the crew and everything and talked about, you know, me being down there like every week. He said, you want to help wash the car? I'm like, okay, hell yeah. He's like, all right. He's like, get in there, get in front and have the guys push it out.
I like his strategy. Have somebody else do it.
Yeah, really.
Well, what a
I was
cool
thinking
memory
that's pretty
for
smart.
You, though, yeah.
Right,
so like,
right. It's a win-win.
I started hanging out every week in the pits at, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Williamsburg Speedway?
Yeah.
They always run World of Outlaws shows and everything. I was actually there the night that he was driving and beat the Outlaws.
Cool.
So we were all down in Victory Lane and everything and just having one big party afterwards.
Wow.
I think it was like $25,000 to win that night
Ooh,
or something.
Oh my gosh, okay,
So it's like, he's like,
not bad.
I haven't won this much if you combine multiple seasons and everything. He's like, so this is really kick-ass.
Wow.
They actually let me get in the car and take it out for heating the motor, where you just do like slow, like 3 slow laps just to heat the motor. Mm-hmm. They said, we'll show you how to gear it and everything. Do you want to drive it in harmless? I'm like, what, me and that? I'm like, okay. They're like, you can't push the gas pedal. You just got to go out there and putz around as it goes. I'm like, damn.
Still, though,
like,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I ain't going to lie. In the corners, I was...
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, that thing almost spun out. They would kick me out of here tonight. I'm like,
not the full experience, but how different did that feel from what you drive now?
Oh, world of different. I mean, obviously, we somewhat have grip. Sometimes we slide. You know, obviously, we've seen me the one week. I was all over the place that one week.
Carnival's kicking you.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's time to meet Melinda.
It's actually getting worse as it goes. So.
Yes.
So this is the Melinda's Boot Jalokia Ghost Pepper Sauce.
There we go.
For whatever reason, man, I've been trying so much hot sauce over the last few months. Ghost Pepper, it gets me for some reason. Really love this sauce, but it is spicy.
Ooh, now we're getting to the last two fun ones.
Last two fun, they're fun.
And there it starts.
Fun question for you here. Let's just say you could still listen to the stereo in your Bomber A car, considering it is a stock car. I would say radio, but you'd be like, well, I listen to the race director every week like I'm supposed to, right? But what would you be listening to inside your race car as you're hauling around the racetrack?
99% of the time, I'm going to probably be 80s, 90s country.
It's
what I grew up on. I've always been a country music fan. I know everybody can hate, whatever.
People like it, it's fine.
Like we've had the conversation about race car drivers. It would suck if everybody liked the same thing. But 80s, 90s country. Some of the early 2000s, the newer country's too pop for me.
Yeah, it did go really popular.
Yeah.
Like I'll turn on like the FM radio every now and again, and I'm like,
what is this?
What the hell? What station am I on? And the only time you're really going to see my actual FM stereo, because I'll do a lot of like YouTube, Pandora, whatever while I'm driving, is on Saturday nights when it's the Gold Rush and the classic stuff, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
The sad part is they're starting to play stuff on there from high school, so I think my age is starting to show a little.
So, forgive me, it's not my genre of music. I like Johnny Cash, and I like the Like a Cowboy song, whatever, Like a Cow, whatever.
Randy Houser.
Okay, there you go. But all the stuff that I like is from like the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
So 80s and 90s, are we talking like Garth Brooks? And of course I pick like the giant one who's still selling out arenas, but you know, like what specific
Chesney.
artists?
Yeah, Kenny Chesney was there like late 90s, early 90s. Tim McGraw, go back, Charlie Daniels Band.
Okay.
Little Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah,
sure.
If you can't help it, just turn the volume up.
Yeah.
There's a wide range of it and everything. It's like, I look at that, it's like, I base the new country and I'm like, we're so far away from what it used to be, and I know it's a whole different breed, whole new world now, but it's like, this is the new one. I'm going to stay old and be happy.
Yeah.
I'll be grumpy a little bit, but I'll switch grooves if I'm in a little, like, had a long day at work, maybe. I'll throw on, like, some Metallica, Disturbed, Linkin Park. I'll get into some, like, rock like that and everything. I won't be, like, into real heavy screaming stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's like, I mean, yes and no. It's like, I sit there and I listen to it, and it's like, okay, I can get to the beat of it. It's like, what are you saying? That's the part I can't make out. It's
Listen,
like, I kind of want to know some of
there
the
are
words.
people that don't scream, and I have to go look up the lyrics, so I'm going to show my knowledge here. since you like country and a little bit of rock, do you like that guy Hardy? Because he does both.
Yeah, he's
you
alright.
like him? Okay.
So
That's the only one I know.
right. So
I'm gonna get real weird. The Holy Modal Rounders. Okay, that is the reaction I expected. I was trying to think of.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I'm trying
Who
to
did you
picture.
say?
I was trying to think of what I would consider to be my favorite country act, and I really, it's like psychedelic country from the 60s, and what would be their most popular song? They have one called Boobs a Lot. Do you like boobs a lot? Yes, I like boobs a lot.
Okay.
That's
great.
I can get into that.
It's like CKY for country.
I feel like the one that people might know is because it was on the Easy Rider soundtrack, and that's how I discovered them. And it's, if you wanna be a bird, it don't take much to get you up there.
Yep.
Okay, all right. At least.
And you're kind of playing the word get you up there. Are we talking about getting high? What are we
I'm
talking
pretty.
about going here?
It's Easy Rider. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty much narrow that down.
We're down to the last one.
Now we come to death itself.
This is the Reaper Squeezins. As I say, about as hot as sauces get.
When you were setting this up and you open, I'm like,
oh yes, that's
okay.
right.
You
You saw me open the bottle and you were like, oh, I can smell that
I can
right
smell
away.
that from
It's
here.
got
and I'm
that
like,
smell.
well, we're saving
There
the
it
best or possibly the worst for last. But
Right.
Joe's here for the game, man.
Yep. Instant. The minute it hits your tongue, it just starts. It's one of those hot that's like the sauce is cold, like it's refrigerated.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Later tonight, tomorrow. Yeah.
Sorry, Joe's wife. We appreciate you.
And over the next 15, 20 minutes, it's gonna hang out. Well,
Oh,
yeah. Get used to it.
You'll have a passenger on the ride.
But-
anyway.
We've been lucky enough to see a lot of your racing over the past couple of years. What is one of your other hobbies that you occupy your time with?
God, I pretty much gave up everything when I went and started racing.
Yeah.
I actually used to play golf a lot.
Okay.
Really?
And it's funny because the wife and mother-in-law used to always drive by the one golf course in Daytona and make fun of golfers. And then we get together and find out that I actually did golf. I actually golfed a lot more when I was younger up in PA and stuff. My old boss, we played in actual like tournaments and leagues up there. So I actually got her started in it. We went out to the driving range. She started hitting around a little bit. And
Yeah.
She started going out with me on the courses.
Wow.
And we would go to Daytona Shores. They have a little par 3 executive course. Nothing crazy big. Just so she can... Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one will gag you mid-sentence.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what just happened. It's like, hello.
If you never got into racing, do you feel like you would have pursued golf more?
I don't know if I would have pursued it more other than just keep it as a hobby and kind of relaxing because it can get frustrating and everything.
Yeah.
But, or just go to the driving range and just take your anger out and imagine somebody's head down there on the ball when you're hitting it.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least you can successfully compartmentalize that. I think one of the things that I do is I take, and it's even here with the hot sauce, is like I take everything that I enjoy and then I turn it into work.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I like this. How can I monetize it somehow? So just saying, like, you know what? Golf is how I decompress or how I get my rage out. That's, you know,
Before
leave
that,
it
used
there.
to be like my off days I go fishing. And we haven't even done that in, God, well over probably 3 years now. I think
Hell,
the
that's
last time we
just
went
about
out.
as expensive as racing anymore.
Yeah. I don't
Licenses,
know. I always
boats.
joke with the wife about this one. She's gonna get on me for this comment, but I still say the race car is cheaper than this house.
Oh, the hot sauce is kicking now.
Yeah. I'll pay for that comment later too. But
If that was still in, then he did not ask me to cut it out after we cut camera.
no. She's
She's a good sport.
Yeah, she is. She's
Yeah,
so
she's
used to. I have to admit, if I'm gonna be a smartass and everything, I married someone that can be an equal smartass and kind of give it right back. So it works out too. And you weren't lying. That stuff just keeps going.
No,
Oh, man.
And that was the one I was fearing.
Yeah.
The first couple times we did this, I'm like, I'm used to it. This sauce. The last couple times, Tom,
No.
I don't know about you, man, but it's.
I'm
Yeah,
not even
no.
gonna say I feared it because, like I said, I love spicy stuff. My body doesn't. Like right now, I can feel sweat dripping down my neck.
Yeah. And
But it's
Ryan
like-
and I, like, we eat this stuff at home even when we're not shooting. So you'd think, like, okay, so we're used to it, right? Not really. Like,
No,
you
that's
get
what
to a
always-
certain point and it's just like, oh no,
Yep.
it's still rocking us.
It's almost like every breath you take, it just fires
Yeah.
it right
Yeah.
instantly. It's like just hold your mouth shut, stop
That's
talking.
why
you're fine.
we get the best answers no matter what the question
yeah.
is. Once we get out of here.
I ain't gonna lie, I got sweat going, so I
That's-
knew
that's
that
why
was gonna
he-
do it, and I was actually looking forward to it as much as I
Yeah.
feared the after effect. But I'm like, whatever.
Well, as you see, my daughter has been helping me with my counting lately. So as is custom on our show now, if you want to take an extra one and dip your favorite sauce. Tell us what your favorite sauce is. We'll let you do that now.
Through the whole thing too.
Yeah.
Which one? Like I said, I love the spicy stuff. My body does it, so I love that one. Not really going to kick it up to going home and trying to sleep yet tonight. I actually think they were all good. But I'm kind of more of the sweet, tangy barbecue. So, much as we're going to get back on the little fun punch, I'm going with the Dirty Dick.
Hey, all right. Chuck another one up for Dick's.
Yeah, I'm going with that one. Just got that sweet and the heat at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'll
was going to say, there's enough.
Yeah,
Let's join in here.
I will admit, I bought it specifically because I thought it would be fun to have in my lineup with the name and just to be silly. And it's ended up as one of my favorites. Like, it'll be in stock at my house for eons.
I've got multiple bottles on my shelf that haven't even been opened yet because I was just like, it's cheaper to buy the 3-pack.
Sure.
So.
But you made it through the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
You've been a trooper. You've told your story. And I want to give you a chance to do a burnout. Give some love to your sponsors. Give a shout out. Let everybody know where they could find you.
Sponsor is Dennis Herring and Premier Lawn Care out of High Springs, Florida. Actually searching for sponsors. On that, I don't really do Snapchat, Instagram, or anything.
Yeah.
Never really been big into it. I don't even know how to work half of it and everything. I just stick to mainly Facebook. That's how I keep up with friends and family in Pennsylvania, Tennessee. So anybody can find me on there.
Well, come on out and watch them try to get more top 5s, more wins, and hopefully let the points fall where they may.
I got some people that I deliver furniture to that are just moved here and went to the Daytona 500. And I said, have you ever been short track racing? They're like, no, not really. I said, you're going to have to come out and see us one night. And I've actually been at the track one night, and they forget my name, but they're like, hey, furniture guy. So I'm like walking up to see my wife and stuff, and I'm like, and instantly I'm like, furniture guy, who the hell? I'm like, all right, I know somebody. And it'd be one of my customers. I was like, oh, hey, you guys did make it out.
Joe the Furniture Guy, a.k.a. Cole Trickle Jr.
That's right.
That's how we end it.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
And it's over.
Tom works his magic and makes it sound.
Where's the double ghost pepper scorpion sauce? That's the end one.
Dear.
That's the end game.